Simple little release the golf club drill. I want you to practice. It's going to allow you to hit straighter shots, longer shots, better struck shots, certainly with irons and with driver. And it's going to show you something that so many golfers just get muddled up about, how your wrists work through the release. Releasing the golf club made simple with a super simple drill. Let's show you what I mean. Now, always remember, if you like the tips and you find them helpful, hit that like button, helps me out. Don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, I have a free newsletter, so you can join this great community where we go into more depth on these kind of angles and numbers and swing ideas with a weekly free, totally free golf coaching newsletter. The link in the description down below. Sign up if you want to join the club. We've got a lot going on and it's a lot of fun. So releasing the golf club, we want to get the club from here to hitting the ball to somewhere out in front of you. You see these pictures of the pros in these kind of positions, where often we see amateurs kind of more in these kind of crumpled positions or flicking this forward, which is a term which gets people really muddled up. This drill's so simple, and you can use it at home practicing, you know, in the garden just swinging, or you can use it at the practice range here. You can even use it on the course as a feeling before you hit the shot. And it's going to show you that your wrists as you hit the ball are actually not doing what lots of people think they're doing. So when you look at really good players, they tend to go, when they get the club down and coming into the ball, their wrist is somewhere subject to their grip, let's say near flat with their lead arm. So if we think of extending wrist, so adding angle, bowing wrist, bend it this way and somewhere flat. As a benchmark, they're somewhere near flat. And as they come in to hit the ball, believe it or not, some are extending their wrist a little bit, so it's actually bending forwards, believe it or not, world-class players. Some are level, some are slightly back as well, because you all see these kind of images this way. But what happens as they hit, and like milliseconds after they've hit the ball, so like literally the smallest amount of time that you could think, they're massive extenders. They really let this lead wrist go and cut forwards. Where what we see from a lot of amateurs is we see them have their wrist cupped forwards, so extended, and then as they hit the ball, they start to flatten it, believe it or not, and then keep it flat for quite a long time. Is quite a common pattern. That's really weak, and it's really good if you want to leave the face open to a path, which you obviously don't unless you're trying to hit a big functional slice, which most of you are trying to stop hitting. So how can you fix that? Well, take the club in your normal setup position with your lead hand at the top. Trail hand, I want you just to pinch the shaft here, just pinch right in the middle of the grip. We're going to get the club somewhere parallel towards the ground here. Now it's important that you have your lead wrist slightly bent down at this point. So in this part of the downswing, your wrist is going to be at this angle to your lead arm. It's not hinged up. We don't want it like this, which lots of people think they do. We actually want it in ulnar deviation, so pointing down. So to do that, make sure that the club is somewhere parallel to the ground for this drill to work. Now I hear you all now in the comments, yeah, but people flick it forwards. If you're a person writing that comment now, just stop. Stop. The reason on a 2D camera for most golfers you see the shaft back and the club forwards flicking forwards is to do with their control or lack of control aloft. It's not actually to do with them trying to flick forward or hold off. For those golfers trying to hold off is a disaster. Trying to get those golfers from flat to actually extending more really helps them. So just let's get that myth of trying to hit the ball like this gone. Like no one's hitting it like this. They're just not doing it as much as where people think. The wrist is like this. All good players are really letting that wrist go. So for you to get the feeling of letting that wrist go, we've got the club pointing down, or the wrist I should say, more hinged down towards the ground this way, and the shaft is parallel to the ground, pinching the club. Now what I'm going to do is try and flick this club forward as fast as I can. So I'm really going to pull as fast as I can, get my body moving and just let that club go. But I'm going to really hold the follow through short. See how it's going almost from my feelings from parallel to parallel here, but as quick as I can. If I do it really slow, I feel like I can hold this handle off, which will make the ball just basically pop kind of high off to the right, which is what lots of you do. I need that release feeling. I need to let that club go. So basically the handle comes down, it's slowing down, club speeds up. Head catches nearly up with the handle, a little bit of handling, and then it massively overtakes the handle. That's what we want. If you get those feelings happening, you're going to get those more flights where it goes forwards and out rather than the high poppers off to the right, which we see so often. And this drill does it. But you've got to have the stunted follow through. And you've got to really try and go as quick as you can. You can actually hit shots this way. It's not easy, but you can hold it here and just try and flick it out in front of you. Again, try and keep that follow through short. I went a little long there, which made me not really release as well as I could or should. Again, you're really trying to get that club to flick forward and overtake, and then work that feeling into your shots. It's amazing when it does the club face control. It gets people to stop coming through like this, and it gets them coming through this way, because what you're doing is you're going from a flat wrist to extended to semi-flat as you hit the ball to mega extended. It's like throwing a frisbee, so it's like letting that wrist go to direct that frisbee out, and you're doing the same with the golf ball. You're going from flat to somewhere near flat to extended to mega extended, and that is what is releasing the club. Use this drill at home. It's so good for getting the feeling of some release. Work it into your full shots, get the same feelings. You can hit very different shots than you normally hit, and your scores will come down. Now remember, if you want to go into more depth with this newsletter, sign up down below, totally free, weekly newsletter. Come and join the community, got loads going on and more in the future. But if you want to stay on YouTube, watch another video thinking about your release, this one's helping a lot of golfers.